Patreon member shoutout. Очень неприличное желание. Мальчики, будь со мной понагрей, от стыда не красей. Мальчики, подрузи на друзей. Мальчики, от меня. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a Veve Omi update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. I would say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. So via my last video, everyone was saying, please, Chavez, make one tonight. Make a new video tonight based on how you can go and make a living off of renting your collectibles. Now, for those of you that do not know, we are able to get this in a update for next year, most likely, and I'll read to you why. Starting in Tier 3, so this is the third tier, which you can get to right away as long as you not only stake everything you need to in Tier 1 and Tier 2, but you do what's called Fast Track, and you burn a total of, out of those two, about $1,500 worth of OMI has to be burned for you to Fast Track to Tier 3. Again, be advised that it can be quite a lot to someone, but if you're going to rent your collectibles, which you could get in Tier 3, then you'll be able to go and make that money back, I think, relatively quickly. Now, again, that is going to be in what's called Phase 4. Phase 1, 2, and 3, I think we will get very, very quickly within the next couple months. Most likely be finished with those three phases in Q1 of next year. It's just the staking and tier structure, OMI drop raffles, secondary market trading in OMI. That's it. Now, Phase 4 has accessories, premium market listings, and renting collectibles. So I think this is going to be the big one. I don't know if Phase 4 is going to come the first half of next year or even the second half of next year. But here's my prediction. Here's what everyone wanted me to go to. And I will try to keep this video a little quick just because I'm quite tired. But we'll go like this. Let's just go with Batman Series 1. The first season, the first collectibles ever. Only 1,750 people can ever get that set. So it'll be a very huge flex, in my opinion, to have, I guess, the whole set in general. Like, again, let's say if we have a warring world and you want to go and have your Batman team, I think that's the only set where you have an all Batman team. In the next sets, you have Penguin, you have Harley Quinn, you have Carmine Infantino, Robin, you have Dick Grayson as Nightwing. That one's one of my favorites. But this is the only Batman set, like the only set that has just Batman in it. There's 4 of them. And only about 1,700 people can ever get that full set. Why? Because the ultra rare, that Eddie Rizzo Batman, there's only 1,750 of those. There's a lot more people in the world that want that set than 1,700 of them. So, most likely what they're going to want to do is, let's say there's an achievement for there's a giant monster that appears in Veve City or outside DC World or wherever they have in the Veveverse, and you say, okay, well, if your whole team, let's say if you have a squad of 4 or 5, what have you, is all Batman related, then maybe that you get an achievement for that. Oh, your whole team was Batman related. And let's say you just don't have that. Let's say if you can't afford like the several $1,000s to buy that whole set. Well, what about renting it? A lot of people would rent it for the day. Now, let's just make the argument that, we'll jump over here to Kripkins for a little bit. There's a bunch of those out there, several thousand of them, and you could say, oh, hey, these guys, they want to do them, but there's so many people renting them out. And maybe there's so many people renting them out that you could only rent them out for, I don't know, like $1 an hour or $5 a day, what have you. I still think that's a really good amount. $5 a day, 7 days a week. That's an extra $35 per each one. Now, there's 12 collectibles in there. Now, again, I see the ultra rare, that Cosmic Cthulhu, going for a lot more, than like the Nessie or the Bigfoot, some of my favorites. And, okay, fair point, but let's just say right now all of them are $5 a day. That's $35 a week. Times 12, you'd be about, let's say it's $350 plus another $70. So you're looking at about $420. Oh, everyone coming nice down for the $420 down below. That's an extra $420 a week. That is, on average, about $1,680 per month. That's a lot. $1,680 a month is a lot. That is more than most people's rent. That's more than my rent right now. Granted, I'm living in a grandma apartment with Tashi's eyes are glowing. With no bed, no air conditioning or anything, which is fine. It's November now. It's actually quite cool. But again, that's a lot, and that's for Kripkins. That's again, $5 a day for each of them. That's a lot. Again, even only $1 an hour or 1 gem an hour. Now you might be able to go and rent these in Omi, and if you want to get that, that's what I would do. I would rent them out for Omi. I wouldn't take gems. Why? Because then when you cash them out, they don't really do anything. But Omi, if you hodl that, most likely over time, again, peaks and valleys, that'll most likely go up. Now, but again, Chavez, there's 12 of those in that set. There's 4 of them in that Batman set. Okay, well, if you're lucky enough, like me, I'm privileged enough, like me, to have one of those Batman sets, then you could probably charge a little bit more, especially for the Eddie Russo and the Todd McFarlane Batman. Well, why? Because those are the most coveted in those sets. The other ones are fine, and if people want to do that as a whole set, they can. But you're really going to be able to charge a big premium for that. For the Eddie Russo, because there's so few of them, and for the Todd McFarlane Batman, because there's multiple people that have over 100 of them each, and so that's a lot. There's a reason why the Todd McFarlane Batman is worth more than the Superman. Some people have a couple of Superman, a decent amount, maybe even a dozen or two. But I don't think there's anybody that has 150 Superman. Maybe there is, maybe like a Ray Fixie or something like that. They might have it, or just a whale that just came in and just spent tens of thousands or $100,000 on it. Now you'd have to spend 6 figures to get 150. Why? Because they're worth like 1,100 per one. And now, that person that has 150 Todd McFarlane Batmans has about $300,000 or so just in Todd McFarlane's. So again, that you'll probably be able to do maybe $5 an hour or $20 a day. Or so if you do the $20 a day, which I think is very reasonable. I mean, what happens if you want to, go play, mini golf, and you have to rent a club and a ball and you play it, and guess what? That is... So, and somebody that owns a mini golf thing, not only have to pay the rent on that, not only have to replace the equipment, and you have to pay the workers there. It's just a lot, and you're only charging what, $20 a person, maybe, and they play for what, an hour or two. You have no overhead. The overhead is just the cost of the NFTs, which you can resell. You can resell the cost of the NFTs. You can't go and resell, putters or ball. Maybe you can, I guess, but I feel like those are a dime a dozen. Like, who's going to do that? You can't resell those workers. Those workers aren't yours at the mini golf station. They're not. Whether something's even fun, laser tag. Okay, well, that equipment is going to degrade. That equipment is going to need. You have to pay someone to clean that equipment. You have to pay people to Q-tips, make sure there's no lice or whatever in there. And again, the workers and the space that you have to overcome. Like here, no, it's like a once and done thing. It's not a building where you have to continue paying rent. I mean, maybe there's something in the future where in the Veveverse, oh, hey, to play this game, you actually have to pay to play. And maybe that's covered by you, the person who's renting out these collectibles. And if it is, I'm already 8 minutes. This is not going to be a short video. It's going to be, so maybe you have to go and say, hey, if you rent from me, I cover each thing that you're going to do in this amount of in this period. And again, $20 an hour is not bad, because again, why the Kripkins would possibly be so cheap is because you're going to have a bunch of people renting them out. But there's so few that can or even will be able or even wants to rent out that stuff. Again, like we had that green check mark in the comic books, which again, I don't think there's going to be any real degradation with those, but I knew from the start there's going to be an added benefit where that green check mark is digitally tainted and this one is not. What happens if you send someone your collectible or you rent it out? That's confirmed on the blockchain. It's most likely going to be in the smart contracts. Oh, hey, I'm going to rent this out for 1 hour. The gems or the OMI switches to your account. You get that, and what happens in an hour? It just automatically gets sent right back to you. But what happens? That has an extra digital signature on it. It's shown on the blockchain that it was owned by somebody else, even if it was just for a small amount of time. Some people that just got it from the store or only has one or two owners previous, they're going to be like, oh, okay, well, guess what? I don't want that on mine. I feel like that cheapens it. And again, to each their own, I don't feel like that cheapens it at all. If I were to have a, Todd McFarlane or an Eddie Russo Batman that was, owned by Dan Lee and Cavell Anderson and Taps Trades and Wendy Stibalis, I would never sell that. Like, that's more valuable to me, the more awesome people that have it. But some people will feel like, I'm not renting this out because they feel that might taint their collectible. We comment nice down below for the. Sorry, this is a show for children. This is a family show. Keep it real. And again, I don't want this to get too long, but if you have, let's say, Eddie Russo Batman, and out of the, let's say there is 1,300 people that have that, because a couple might have two, and I know a bunch of people that have multiple than that. And you go and you say, okay, there's going to be a lot more people that are going to want to rent out Eddie Russo Batman than are the Kripken set, most likely. And with so few of them, that's just going to create demand. Whereas the Kripken set, people might undercut each other to sell really cheaply. People are like, oh, hey, I guarantee you, there's going to be special Telegram, Signal, Discord chats, Twitter chats that are just going to be like, oh, hey, we're all Eddie Russo Batman holders right here. Let's not rent below $100 an hour or something. Why? And again, I don't think that's fair. Because, yeah, there's going to be 1,000 people that will pay that. That will be, oh, I can play as Eddie Russo Batman, because what are they could try to buy one at that time. It's going to be that's going to be a 5-figure item. Like, you can't tell me that's not going to be a 5-figure item, like, if not more. Again, that first set, I think the Todd McFarlane's going to be a 5-figure item. And there's like 5 or 6 times as much as the Todd McFarlane Batman as there is the Eddie Russo. So, yeah. Eddie Russo could probably get a lot more. Will the Todd McFarlane Batman flip Eddie Russo? Maybe, because that's the first appearance, where the Eddie Russo is just the first edition. But again, and this could happen for every single one. Donnie's even more. Secret Rare Spider-Man even more. Now, Secret Rare Spider-Man, again, you might get achievement for completing a mission with that. Again, this is deep in the Veve-verse. When they're, again, it might not even happen next year, but if it does, again, if you have all or a good percentage of something, like, part of the reason why I was going to get all the Pokemon NFTs when it comes out, if it comes out, not guaranteed, but how awesome would it be to have a team of Gyarados with Dragon Rage, or a team of Gyarados that know Hyper Beam on a level 2 Pidgey, so overkill. I guarantee you they have something like achievements, like in Star Wars, Lego Star Wars. If you kill Jar Jar Binks 20 times, you get an achievement. So I guarantee you there's going to be things in the Veve-verse. Oh, you did it with a team of just this? Achievement. A team of with this? Achievement. I bet you. Why? Because that incentivizes people to play games more. That incentivizes people to rent it out. Chavez, why would they be so keen on renting this out? Because I guarantee you there's going to be a fee. That's going to burn all this Omi. How Italians burn Omi. That's what it's going to be. I'm telling you. I know this is one of those crystal ball things that I just see, and if you can do that, let's do the math on the $20 an hour, and let's just say, yeah, $40 to rent out for the whole day for just the that's just for the Eddie Russo, and then let's say another $40 to rent out the Todd McFarlane one for the day, and so let's make it $100 a day for the whole set, which again is very, very few people are going to get. Okay, well, what is that? $700 a week. That's about $2,800 a month. That is a lot more than the Kripken set. And out of that $2,800 a month, again, covers more than my rent. That's a lot of people's mortgages, depending on where they are. And God, this is going to be insane. And the amount of intricacies that this is going to go through, there's going to be, I guarantee, there's going to be some people that maybe have the money to do that, but they just don't have the skill to complete certain missions. What they're going to do, they're going to take the money, rent it out from people who have those sets, and they're going to probably do what's called scholarships, which is what happens to Axie Infinity, and they're going to rent those collectibles out or give it control to somebody that has the skill to do those missions, just so on their account, they're like, oh, hey, this was done on your account. They're going to give it to people in the Philippines. They're going to give it to people in Central and South America. where, again, like Brazil, the minimum wage is like $10 a day. Like coconut farmers over in, the Philippines get like $300 a year. When you have this amount, this has already changed lives. I can't believe that this is gonna happen. And will this for sure come next year? I don't know. It might be 2023 until this really gets to the nitty gritty of it. Those nooks and crannies, like those Thomas English muffins. But this will happen. Am I Obi-Wan Kenobi talking to Anakin? Qui-Gon Jinn talking to Anakin? You will become a Jedi. I promise you. No, that was Obi-Wan Kenobi talking to Anakin. I promise you. I promise you this will come at some point. It could be next year. It could be the year after. But mark my words. Download this video. Share it. Do it, everything. That Chavez promised. Remember that one day in Angry Beavers? That calendar where Norbert has to do everything Daggett says for one episode? Norb promised. He tattooed it on the inside of his eyelids. Mark this down on your calendar, where it's being filmed currently on Saturday, November 27th, 2021. Chavez promised. This will happen. Whether it's within a year, 2 years, I guarantee you it does. Everyone please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say, bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. And also, everyone check out Star Helix and Kyle Willson on YouTube, and at Not Star Helix, at Hey David Don, and at EQ_crypto, right? That's what it says. Yes, it is. All right, I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, meow.